In this segment, we're going to show you how to connect individuals to your cases. Well, the very first thing you must do is have the program focus on that specific case of which you want to add an individual to. We're going to use our Barney Rubble sample case here, and I've already filtered for Barney Rubble's case in this scenario. So we have him listed in the lower half here, so we know we have the right case, or at least we can get to it. But we need to work that case so now that we can add individuals connected to that case. As always, when you hit that work case button, it always take you to the time slip screen. So now what we must do is on the left hand side is click on this people button to look at individuals who are connected to this case. In our scenario here, there is no one connected to this case. So very simply, you hit this new association button, and then you'll be presented with a chance to record Barney's name. So the very first thing we must do, we've got to put his name in there because it's in red, obviously. And then we do that by hitting the search button. And what the program now has done is shown us everybody that's in the people Rolodex. As with all other filters, I recommend you filter on as little pieces of information as a first name or last name to see if in fact Barney's not in the system already. So we hit the refresh button, and boom, it's telling us that Barney is not connected to the case. Now the reason why you want to do these type of searches is so that you don't record somebody's name in there twice by flipping letters of their names or even flipping their first and last. So basically it's always a good idea to search for an individual before you add someone. So okay, so we have no one by the name of Barney in here, so we're going to add a new person to our people Rolodex, and here we go with that information. So I'm going to record Barney's name here. And there's other information we can record in here, and we're not going to really concern ourselves a lot about the rest of the stuff. This will go into at a later date on other descriptions. But just get this individual into the system is the key here. Now, if you have any information on Barney, like maybe you might have a phone number on him, then you want to record what you have, so that you can actually contact him at a later date. So we can also record an address if you have that. If you don't worry about it, press on. If this is a defense case where you want to talk about specific characteristics, this is where you record that as well. So simply at this point, hit the save button, and now we come back to that search screen where we were looking for Barney before, and lo and behold, there he is. So we're going to click on him once, and now he's listed here. We must then choose a role that we want him connected to the case. Well, we know that he's the target, so I hit the letter T on the target, and we can determine whether he's a witness or not. What if he's a witness, what type he is, hostile, extra friendly. But the point is, get him in the system. And under the notes here, you want to record something about him. So that as you were looking down the road and look back to this case, he was a target, but maybe you had more information that might be more descriptive about it. So you might say he's suspected of an affair with Wilma. So we're going to go ahead and hit the save button. And so now we have him connected to the case. We have a phone number here should we need to call him, or if this he was in the target, maybe he was as a contact. But it's going to put their contact information inside here so you can call them very quickly. Now you're going to note here at this point that we don't have an address for him. I did that on purpose to show you where if you get information later on, you can quickly add that information to this individual's personnel file, if you will. So we're going to add a new address for him, and I'm going to record and let's do this. You know, if I can spell, it would be just a wonderful thing. That's all I have is that information, so we're going to click on the save. So now we have the first address recorded for him, and you'll note when we come back to this people connected to the case, the address is appearing here, but in addition to that, it's putting a Google Map button that you can actually pull up Google Maps with this address. So let's give that a shot and see what happens. And boom, there's a Google map. So it's a way of being able to determine exactly where this person's at. Now let's add another address for this guy. Let's add an address, maybe the office here. So we'll put it in Clackamas, and then we're going to save. Now, once it comes back to this people connected to the case, the program has detected there's another address for him and put it in there, but it also allows you to pop in a Google's map too. So the point is, the more information you give the system, the more valuable it's going to be for you. So now we've added Barney here, and now we want to possibly add Wilma. So let's add Wilma through a new association. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to search. So the program has remembered our previous filter, so we want to clear that out by hitting that clear button. And let's look for Wilma. I'm going to type the first part of her name, hit the refresh, and it does not exist. So we're going to add Wilma to the system. And then we're going to save it. So now we come back here and there's Wilma, and we single click on her, and she's now added to the system, or she's association. So now we want to determine what association is, and you can put down whatever role she serves, where she's a spouse in this case, and I'm going to put down and then simply hit save. Now you can you can adjust this information as necessary, but we'll just get in there for right now. So now we have two people connected to the case, and just as with Barney Rubble, you could easily add other information about Wilma: address, phone numbers, employment, education, whatever is necessary. Let me take you to that way of handling information, those other types of stuff that's not normal. So we're going to actually engage the Rolodex on actually on Barney Rubble here, and so we are now looking at his personnel file right here. So basically, with his personnel file, we can add more addresses. Works. We can add a photo, vehicles. This is all the stuff that is very particular to excuse me, Barney Rubble. So the point is, you can add as much information as necessary, add others as you come back to them. So now once you're here and you have people connected to the case, you may want to generate some sort of report to walk away, either in the field or possibly to email to somebody. So let's generate generate a first report here. And you have types of reports you can generate: minimal, demographic, or pedigree. Now, whatever you select here, it's going to respect whatever filters you have put up in the system up here. So let's go ahead and pump out a report that's full, and that's going to have both individuals. So what we have here is just basic information on both these individuals, and we could easily download the report, or we can email it. So if you hit this download report, then what's going to happen, the program is allowing you to email this information to somebody, to yourself, whatever you want to do with it, or you can also hit this downloads report, or you can actually just email a report out to whoever you want to deal with. So that is one style of report. Let's go and generate another report. Let's try minimal and see what that looks like. That's a different type of information, minimal information. Things in terms of if you're working a case and you have to produce a witness list to the other side, you're not going to provide all that pedigree information, just a simple information, or whatever you want to do with it. So let's go back and try a different report. Let's try a demographic report, which is going to pull out a lot of stuff. It's going to pull out everything that we have on these individuals. And there you have it. Different style of report, but basically is showing you very positively, very negatively, whether or not you found information on this individuals. So that's one style of report. And then you can also do another type of report that deals with pedigree. And let's pop that out there. And so this is showing you the same information, but in a little different format. If there were photos connected to these individuals, they would have appeared right here. So this is a way that you can add individuals to your cases, pull out reports, and be able to print and look at information.